What if I told you a man who spent 15 years behind bars is now running $1 million business, helping others rebuild their lives? Sounds impossible? It's not. This is a story of rock bottom and an insane comeback. Meet John Taylor. At just 19 years old, his life was spiraling fast. He grew up in a rough neighborhood, where survival often meant choosing between bad and worse. The streets were loud with sirens and quiet with broken promises. John was smart, but desperate. He wanted more than what his zip code offered. So when the chance came to make quick cash, he took it. Wrong friends, wrong choices, and in one reckless moment, he found himself holding a weapon in a corner store. It all happened so fast. A robbery gone wrong, an arrest, headlines, a trial, and then the sentence. 15 years in a maximum security prison. He didn't even get to say goodbye to his little sister. His mom stopped taking his calls. His father said he no longer had a son. The world moved on. But John, he was locked in a cage with nothing but time and regret. But inside those concrete walls, something changed. At first, John was angry at the system, at his past, at himself. He'd stare at the cold, cracked ceiling for hours. But when you got nothing left to lose, you start listening to your own thoughts. One day, a prison librarian handed him a worn-out copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That single book lit a fire. It wasn't just about money. It was about mindset. He became obsessed. He devoured everything. Biographies of people who overcame the impossible. Business books that explained how the world really worked. Self-help guides that spoke directly to the broken man inside him. He read 200 books in his first year. Then he made a plan. He got his GED. Then a business degree through a prison education program. While others played cards, he studied spreadsheets. While others gave up, he wrote goals on scrap paper and taped them to his cell wall. In between lockdowns and late nights, John looked in the mirror and whispered to himself, "You don't belong here. Not anymore." And somewhere between the silence and the sorrow, he made a vow. "I'm never coming back here again. Not ever." Getting out wasn't freedom. It was just a new kind of prison. This time built with judgment, labels, and locked doors of opportunity. John had done his time, but society didn't care. Every job interview ended the same way. "Sorry, we don't hire felons." He applied for dozens of jobs. Factory work, night shifts, warehouse gigs. Even offered to clean toilets just for a chance. Nothing. He was invisible. But John wasn't done. He made a promise to himself inside that cell. "If no one gives me a chance, I'll make my own." So with $300 borrowed from his aunt, he bought a mop, a bucket, some supplies, and started knocking on doors. One office said yes. Not because he had to resume, but because he looked them in the eye and promised, "No one will clean this place better than me." He worked 7 days a week. No vacations. No parties. No distractions. Just grit. Just hustle. Cold mornings, missed buses, meals of instant noodles. He'd clean bathrooms by night and learn bookkeeping, marketing, and sales by day, watching free YouTube videos in his tiny one-room apartment. And then the calls started coming in. "You did a great job for us. Can you clean our second location?" Then a real estate office. Then a school. Then a medical building. Within 2 years, John wasn't just surviving. He was scaling. Today, John runs Taylor Solutions, a thriving 7-figure commercial cleaning company that services high-rise buildings, schools, and government facilities across multiple cities. But here's what makes his business different. He's not just cleaning offices. He's cleaning up lives. John employs over 40 people, and more than half of them have a past just like his. Former inmates, single parents, recovering addicts, people that society wrote off. He says, "I hire who I used to be, not who the world says they are." John provides job training, mentorship, even financial literacy classes for his team. He helps them build credit, open bank accounts, and even start side hustles. And guess what? His employees stay loyal. His clients trust his story. And his business, it keeps growing because character scales. He's been featured in Forbes, spoken at prisons, and mentored dozens of young men trying to break the cycle. John went from being a statistic to becoming a symbol of hope, from felon to founder, from prison to purpose. This is what a real comeback looks like. John's story proves one thing. Your past doesn't define your destiny. Your decisions do. You can be broken, ashamed, written off by the world, and still rise higher than anyone ever expected. Because sometimes rock bottom isn't the end, it's the foundation, a place to rebuild, to reflect, to rise. And if he can turn a prison sentence into a purpose-driven empire, what's stopping you? The comeback is always greater than the setback. If this story inspired you, even just a little, take a second and smash that like button. It tells the algorithm this story matters, and it tells us to keep going. Backhand index pointing right, hit subscribe if you believe that everyone deserves a second chance. Because here on the Comeback Class, we shine a light on real people who fell hard, but got back up even harder. Direct hit news stories every week. No fluff, no fakery, just raw redemption. Speech balloon, and if you know someone who's on their own comeback journey, share this with them. You never know whose life it might change.